What's up, my fellow parents? Hey, Jordan and I were trying to think about creative ideas and things we can do for this podcast. And today we got something for you. So everyone, I went camping over the weekend with 7 families. It's a trip that I organized. I sent out the invitations. 6 or 7 families, Northern California, lakeside, underneath these beautiful redwood and these cypress trees in this beautiful teal water. It's 82 degrees. Lots of floating, the s'mores, the adventures, the rides in the back of the pickup truck to get ice cream at the local little camp store. And I want to tell you some stories about how I parented my kids, but other people's kids on this story. And I think it's going to make for a good podcast. I think you're going to enjoy it. I think hopefully you can learn something. And I got some juicy stuff that I want to share on this episode, Jordan. Juicy stuff.
You're making a lot of us jealous. This sounds like an awesome weekend. You send out invitations. How do we all get invites to Sean Donohue's camping trip? Dude, I could see this turning into a huge weekend summer camp for everybody who listens to the Sean Donohue show. Bring your family to Northern California.
You're so kind.
Enjoy a weekend getaway. This sounds so fun because I still have flashback memories when I was a kid of going camping in Northern California, which is so beautiful, doing the lake thing. You joined me on one of those trips. Big Sur, California was one of them. But
That's right.
There's so many cool places to go explore. And
there is.
How much more do you feel rejuvenated after you spend time in the great outdoors, you know?
Well, part of me loves it, and then if you're talking about family camping, part of me is exhausted.
Well,
exhausted.
True, but it's good for us.
It's
good for all of us.
It is.
Put the tech down, go spend time outside.
Here's some things that I want to tell you before I start telling you some of these stories. Jordan, I did some pretty good parenting and made some good choices, but Jordan, I made some mistakes. I made some mistakes that I had to apologize to some people about.
No.
Yeah, I did.
All right, so okay, let's lay the dynamic for a second because if anyone's listening right now, they're driving around or maybe they're doing laundry at the house and they got their earbuds in.
Yes.
So you're at a campsite. It's one of these group campsites. You've got how many families?
7 families.
7 different families.
So we got 2 trailers and the rest were in camps.
Gosh.
The rest were in camps all underneath the trees. And 3 nights, 4 days.
How many kids?
Let's see. I mean, we got 2 or 3 teenagers. We got girls that are ages 10, 9, and 8. We got boys that are 11, 9, and 8.
Oh my
and
God, okay.
We got a little 4-year-old, and we got a few other kids around that age.
Generally, do these families hang out with each other at other times throughout the year?
Backstory is really important. So all these families I've known for years, camped with them for years, but for one new family, and that was the family that had a problem with me and some of the stuff that I did, and I had to apologize.
Okay.
I had to apologize to them yesterday for what I did, but I think there's some really good creative parenting that I really did, and I'm kind of proud of a lot of the choices that I made, and have some regret over some of the choices.
Yeah,
and I just want to make this. I want to be helpful, and I have creative things that I come up with parenting. I think it'd be good to hear for me to share some of these stories.
I definitely think so. A lot of us have gotten into an experience before where we're like, are we supposed to parent those kids as our own? Do we bite our tongue? Do we just walk away? I've had to personally make sure to keep separation with other families and their kids because I know it can cause a problem. So please let me know how this goes down.
Let's do 2 or 3 minutes of background on that, because what you just talked about was really important. We talk about, people talk about it takes a village to raise a child, but what they don't talk about, it's really hard to be in a village. We did a whole episode 2 months ago. I actually got some really good feedback from it. You should go back and listen to this. How challenging it is to find a village, get in a village, but then stay in a village. Partly why people don't stay in villages because they have conflict about parenting or about alcohol or about drama. And so, especially when you're camping, you're literally living together, sharing utensils, sharing property, sharing, it's like a common ground, and stuff happens,
Or something little like curse words, or we don't say stupid in this family, but that family's allowed to say it. Then it gets confusing, and it's like, what is allowed when you're in this big group and what is not? I totally get
this story does include me saying curse words and getting in trouble for it. And so we're going to say, so just to give you, And so, right, exactly. Or like, how about this? You got a really rowdy, like 11-year-old boy, and you look at that and you're like, where's this kid's parents? And you see their dad right here. It's like, do something. This kid's annoying everybody.
Right.
Or, you see these teenagers that are disrespecting, and it's like, what is going on? So you like, especially when you're camping or spending long amounts of time with people, you can't help but like, you get to know them and you get to see how they parent and how their kids are. And you're like, do you like it or you don't like it? And I think as you hear today, I think there's a really good chance that after today's episode, you'd be like, oh, some of you are going to be like, hopefully the majority, I like Sean more. But there is definitely going to be some people like, I lost respect for that guy. I'm done.
It's so crazy because like you saying this, we're all like, oh, Sean must be like the perfect parent for everybody. But even, it's hard. Parenting is not perfect for anybody. It is difficult for all of us. And so I want to hear how this new family's experience was. And give me
tiny little bit more background. Okay. So you're, okay.
Gather your thoughts here.
I'm going to jump into this story here that involves 4 boys, 9, about somewhere around ages 12 through 9, right?
9 to 12.
And the key to this story is like, a little backstory is like, I care about these kids. I love these kids. I have more history with one family than the other, but like have this 5-to-1 ratio with these kids, which means 5, and you should have this with your kids and with everyone you know. Remember, minimum 5-to-1 ratio. For every one negative experience, negative comment, negative conversation, you want to have a minimum of 5 positive ones.
That's right.
So with these boys, I'd already taken them out to do fishing. I've already said complimented words to them. I've had fun with them. And here's the backstory is that one of my daughters comes to me at nighttime, the first night or the second night, and she's like, Dad, these boys are like being really horrible to each other. They're like really horrible. I was like, what do you mean, honey? And she just wants to vent to me. Like, yeah, they just are bullying each other. They're treating each other like crap. So these are 2 boys, siblings from 2 different families, not in my family.
Right. I understand. Okay. Got it.
And
Brothers
she's
on
like,
each side.
yeah, like they were going to sit around and tell, like, they all agreed to sit around and tell scary stories. And like, they couldn't even tell one because they kept interrupting each other and saying horrible, like, put downs to each other. And then the littlest one of the group, who's like, 9, he starts getting emotional because no one's letting him tell his story. So he's getting sad. He starts crying. And then I jump in. This is the teenager jumping in, my daughter, who's 16. Like, guys, you guys need to stop this. Let him tell his story. And then the kid tells a story. He's like, that was the best story of the group, the little guy. So I decided right there that I had seen enough. And when I said enough, this backstory is really important. I had seen a lot of this. The boys were treating the girls really poorly, Jordan. The 3 or 4 girls, calling them names, like pushing them on the hammock, and the girls would say stop, and they wouldn't stop.
Right.
Just like bullying them, saying mean. And I already started gently addressing this, but I heard that night, I was in my bed. After that, I said, tomorrow's going to be a different day.
Okay.
I'm going to really step up my parenting game, and I'm going to parent other people's kids, and I'm going to send a message to these boys. And I'm gonna do it.
Okay.
Okay. Any back? Is that cool? Any other backstory?
No, I get it. I mean, I just went on a camping trip and the same dang thing happened where they're trying to tell a story. They're all interrupting each other. So I totally get what you're talking about. And they're just kids being kids, but you're right. They need an adult figure to sometimes like give them a little bit of reality check. Like sometimes they think they're just playing around and pushing someone on the hammock until someone swings too far and gets hurt. And then you're like, this is why I said stop.
Have you heard of the new game? It just came out a few months ago. It's called Bucket Golf. Have you heard about it? Okay, I'm like a huge fan of this.
Like a real game where you just get a bucket of balls, or is this like a virtual online game?
No, it's a game. You can buy it off Amazon or like bucketgolf.com, where you buy these like red buckets, but they're made out of vinyl, so they're soft. And then you buy these golf clubs. And then the balls are kind of like pickleballs. So you can set up like a mini golf course in your backyard. And the purpose is just hit the balls against the bucket. Or if you hit it in the bucket, it's a -1, which is good for golf. So I've been playing this around my house because we got 3 acres here. And then I brought it and I brought clubs. And we played like the dads, we played 5 rounds of golf. tons of golf. Big fan of it. Love bucket golf. So then now the boys, they're like, they asked me, Sean, can you take us golfing? So we set up this course all around this beautiful, huge campground because we have a huge site. And so now on hole 1, we start playing golf. And there's these 4 boys. And right off the bat, totally annoying, dude.
Sure.
So annoying. I'm going first. I'm going second.
Yeah.
I'm going third.
It's always a race.
And then they start like saying they're playing and they're like, they're not taking turns.
Right.
They're
calling each other names.
Calling each other names.
Terrible, right?
Right.
Why, I'm better than you.
You're right. It's so annoying, right?
Right.
So by then we get to the tee for hole 2, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna step it up here. I'm gonna say something, but I was also kind of heated, and maybe
Okay,
I was.
hold on. Are you with the other dads too at this moment?
No, it's just me.
Just
me
you
and
these
other
boys?
people's boys.
Yeah, okay, other
right.
people's kids. Okay, all right.
And so I'm like, this guy's like, I'm going first, and I was like, hey guys, all right, we're done. All right, we have to take a talk, and I gave him a speech, and I said something like this, guys, like this is not okay. Like, do you guys realize what you're doing to each other? This is really annoying. And the speech is kind of like this, an intense tone, an intense face.
Sure.
And here's some of the lines, from the speech. I said, do you want to be annoying? Do you want to be annoying? Like, this is really annoying. This is a gentleman's game. And so I'm realizing right now, I'm going to teach you how to be a gentleman right now. Okay. So first off, you don't do this. You don't just like run up to the tee and say, I'm first. That's annoying. That's just mean. Do you want to be mean? They're like, no. I was like, be cool, man. Be cool. I was like, do you want to be cool? I'm looking at a 9-year-old. Do you want to be cool? He's like, yeah. I was like, all right. Well, you're not being cool. And then I call him out individually. I was like, when you're doing this, that's not cool. And I was like, hey, when you're doing that, and then I said a bad word. I swore. It's a word. I said the D word, and it rhymes with kick. I said, do you want to be a D? I was like, do you want to be a D? When you do that, you're acting like a D. And then the 9-year-old looks at me, and he said, what's a D?
Oh, my gosh. Oh, my God.
Homeschooled 9-year-old boy.
You must have been really heated if you threw out that D word.
I don't swear. Dude, this is a homeschooled 9-year-old boy, and his dad's a pastor.
OMG, Sean.
I know.
So did you take a moment to talk about the human anatomy in that?
No, and I said I should have, but I said no. A D is like a jerk. So
yeah, because that's the reality.
So do you realize you're acting like D's? So I said it numerous times.
Yeah, you did. I can't believe you did that. Okay.
And then I was like, I don't think you're realizing it. That this is not fun. This is not cool. Do you guys realize you're doing this? And then they're so sweet. They looked at me and they were totally genuine. Like, no. I was like, right, that's the problem, guys. Now I simmered my tone down. See, that's the problem. You don't realize it. So I'm going to teach you 2 things here. How to be a gentleman and play a gentleman's game, because you didn't know. That's okay. You didn't know. This is how you play golf. So like when you go up to the golf, you can
bucket golf.
Bucket golf. Here's how you do it. You don't say I'm first. You just kind of casually see. If no one's stepping up to the tee, you just go up, or you can say go for it, Johnny, or go for it, Billy, right? You just like encourage each other on. You say kind words, and then you wait. You look around, say who's up, and so now they're like really looking to me, and like they're like, this is good.
Okay, they needed some guidance. They needed someone to follow and show them the way. Okay, continue. Thank you.
Story's not over yet.
I know it's not. I know.
So then I get a call. I get a 3-minute voice memo on my phone yesterday at noon. Trip's over. I'm home. First day home from the trip.
Hold on a second. Pause real quick. At this moment in the camping experience, you're on day 2 or 3?
This is like this is middle of the ground.
Okay, so you still had a day or 2 left.
Yeah, we did. We have more stories to go.
So obviously, you could have this parent, who I'm assuming is one who called you yesterday, could have addressed it during the campsite or during the camping trip, but did not.
Well, I have some more, because of my mistakes.
Yeah,
so first off, here's the key part of the story. Jordan, these boys played great golf after that.
Fantastic. And they got along.
Oh, they got along. They were total gentlemen. We had a great time. I built them up. I gave them high fives.
Sweet.
I just told them, you're doing a great job. Great hit. This is how you play golf. This is how you get along with each other. And I even said to them, like, I heard last night you guys were horrible to each other while you're telling scary stories. They're like, we were? I was like, right, guys. See what I'm saying? That's not what you do. You want to be a guy that likes, that's nice to other guys. Like, do you want me to invite you back on this trip? And they're like, yeah. I was like, well, all right, well, you need to change. You got to start being better to the girls. I heard you're not being nice to my daughters and these kids. They're like, we're not. I was like, right, you're not realizing it. So I'm trying to get your attention. Don't be mean to my daughters. Don't be mean to the girls. You have to be more gentle with them. If they're telling you to stop teasing them, you need to stop. And we had a great time playing golf. Now there's more stories to go. And they're about to get more intense. You ready?
Okay. All right. Well, I think this was a good reality check. I mean, you went a little too far by using the D word, but I think it was a good, hey, we got a little carried away. We had to reassess, and now hopefully the rest of the trip was okay, but it sounds like maybe not.
So the voice memo goes like this. So Sean, we're driving home from the camping trip, and our two boys are bickering in the back.
Oh,
and
shoot.
Our little boy, he says to his brother, stop being a D.
Oh,
and I turn
God.
and I say, what do you mean? I've never heard you say, this is the pastor.
Right, of course it is.
He said to me on the voicemail, maybe I've said that before, but I've never heard my boys say that. So I looked and I said, where did you learn that word? And they said, Sean taught us. The family coach.
Dude, that is hilarious.
And then
I'm getting you a shirt.
And then,
don't be a D.
And then one of them proceeds to then throw me under the bus, and he says, "Yeah, Sean was really picking on me. He was the only, and he was, which is not true, right?
Right.
I was the only one he was saying was being a D.
Yeah.
So then he leaving a voice memo, and I give him a call, and he's a great guy. He handles conflict very well, and I had numerous things that I wanted to apologize to him about. Can I tell you what I apologized to him about?
Please.
Okay.
Use of language.
Yes. I said, look, I don't swear. I got carried away. And that's a young child. I shouldn't have used that word. I apologize.
Very nice of you. Thank you.
Number 2, I should have, if I did, after I said that word, what I should have said was, hey, I just said a bad word. You're not allowed to say.
Don't tell your dad.
I should have said you're not allowed to say that word. That's a bad word. I didn't tell them.
That's true.
I didn't tell them. They didn't know. They didn't know that's a bad word. Mm-hmm. Yeah, 2 of the other kids, they're public school kids. So when I talked to his dad, he's like, "Oh, my kids have heard that," Yeah.
Totally.
And then 3, I should have gone to the parents, and I should have said, "Hey, guys, I want to keep you in the loop. I just had a big." I just parented your boys, and did you like that? Is that okay? Because they've already kind of given me their blessing to parent their kids, but I guess his wife said, yeah, she was pretty riled up about the story because her version of the story she heard was from a boy that I got picked on.
Right, and that would have made me furious too.
In that, then I was able to say, no, I definitely was not singling out your boy. I was coming down on all the boys. Mm-hmm. And so, all right, tell me your thoughts on this story. Did you like it? Did you not?
I think it's a very human example. I had a very similar example one time with boys that were at my house in my backyard playing, and one of them was using not only a word that starts with a D, but like far worse curse words. And he's probably only a 7-year-old. I mean, he is throwing around words that we do not say at this house.
Yeah.
So I physically grabbed him in his arm. I grabbed his arm and said, "We do not talk like this in my house. Time for you to go." And I walked him firmly to my backyard door and kind of pushed him out the door and said, "Go home."
Wow. 7-year-old kid.
7-year-old kid.
Let's
go.
I
told this story before on the podcast, and I should not have done that. I shouldn't have lost my cool. I shouldn't have grabbed his arm. I should have been like, you know what? We don't talk like that. Why don't you guys go home and we're going to just split up? But I was mad. So I was like, no, it's time to go. And I was like, I grabbed him and said, let's go. So then I had to kind of do what you did, but I was the one who took action. I called the dad and was like, hey, dude, this is what happened. I did this. Sorry that I told him to go home and forced him home, but they were using language that was this, and that. And I wanted to be open with it because I felt really, really terrible.
Yeah. Yeah.
For you, it sounds like it was a very human thing. We've all been there. The question is like, when do you feel like you've gone too far? For you, when you were in that moment, at any time, did you feel like you had gone too far? Or were you like, man, I really handled this well. I'm getting through to them. Because you were by yourself. The only reason I went too far is because my wife told me. I wouldn't have known. I'm like,
dude, thank God for wives. Sometimes, but here's what I'm thinking. And I don't know if I'm right with this thinking. I think I'm right. But you can tell me your opinion. I actually shared this story with my wife about 3 hours ago. And then her two friends are here in our house right now.
Okay.
Because they're all going up to Napa Valley for a girls' trip. So I said to them, who they were on the camping trip too.
Oh, they were?
I said, hey, I just want to keep you in the loop if something happened with me and these two other families. And I got their feedback.
Great.
Here's what I got from them, and here's what I'm thinking, is that, in my opinion, except for a couple small mistakes, I feel like I did a really good job.
I was thinking the same thing.
Really good parenting. And it wasn't A+ effort. I mean, it wasn't A+ performance, but I'd like to just stop for a second to share, in my opinion, here's do's and don'ts on how to parent other people's kids or how to parent children in a group setting like that. And I'd like to share a couple things that I think stood out from that story, and I'd love to get your opinion of things that you liked about the story.
Yep.
All right, would you mind going first? We
I'll
haven't
go
prepared
first.
any of this, and
So
Jordan
for
hadn't heard
me-
any of this story.
No, I have
What
not.
do you
This
like about this story? And also tell you what these other women have told me what they liked about the story.
So in every conflict, especially with other people's kids, when they don't respect their surroundings, their friends, their siblings, that could be showcased in your own home. And for your kids, that's not okay. Anyone in my house knows that this is not okay. We don't act like this. And then these kids come in, they don't know that yet. So you have to create a shocking moment, a moment of like, this is not okay.
Yes.
Look at me in the face.
Right.
We do not do to where it startles them and they're like, oh, he's serious. And you did that by getting a little aggressive verbally.
Yes,
But
I did.
Sometimes you have to. And then in that moment, it's always good, in my opinion, to come back and soften it like crazy and show that you're still full of love like you did.
Thank you.
You were like, yeah, good job. And it sounds like they had a great time because they remembered that moment. It sounds like they were great, hopefully, the rest of the trip. And they remembered it so much that they then continued later in the car with their parents and used a bad word. But they remembered that moment. And they know what's right in front of Sean and what's not right in front of Sean.
Let me just say the same thing you said in a different way. I think that's a tool we need in our toolbox. The shock, the intensity. Now, we know from a fact that when you yell at a child, when you scream, you create a neurological effect in their mind that puts them into fight, flight, or freeze technique. It's a trauma response. But I didn't do that. I didn't try to scare a child.
Right.
I tried to get their attention. And I could have done it in a more, I guess, morally appropriate way for a pastor's, family or whatever. But that's what I was trying to do. I'm trying to get their attention. And this is a tool that's many parents, they struggle with. They struggle with people pleasing. They struggle with avoidance, or they're just obsessed with like gentle parenting.
Or we struggle the opposite. We go too far, and we go too far all the time.
And then your kids tune you out because you go too far all the time. Dang,
Right.
That was such a great thing you said.
It's good. It's so
What else?
true, though.
I've got-
So for me, it created a moment where they understand.
Yeah.
And so I think for us parents, the hardest part is where's the line where it is too far, or where's the line where it's not enough. There is such a thin line of that perfect amount of shock to where it gets into their soul so they understand, but yet they're not fearful.
Right. Well said. Anything else that stands out to you from the story? Because I have another story to tell after this. I think you're going to like too. Well, anything else that you liked?
I think the after moment of you talking to the parents and like fessing up and not like beating around the bush. Oh no, it wasn't me. It was all them. These kids are being little jerks, you know. And you were like, dude, I said it is my like you fessed up to it and you talked to the parents and hopefully it was all good.
Yeah, I'm glad I like how you said that because I could have responded with more selfishness or ego, but this is part of being in a village. It means you're constantly having to adapt to other people in that village, because if you do love people, if you do love your friends, if you do respect them, part of that means realizing it's not about you. It's like honoring their different, religious beliefs or their beliefs about words and about accommodating and being a team player. Yeah. And that's, I guess, what I didn't do, and then what I tried to do on the phone is like be a team player.
Can I ask real quick before you share me your thoughts? How is the relationship with the family now? Is it back to normal, or is it still?
I don't know. It just happened yesterday. I haven't heard from them. I mean, I invited them to my birthday party because I'm having a bucket golf birthday party and then pool party at our house, and I noticed that they haven't responded yet.
Okay,
and so
we'll see.
And of all the families, keep in mind, of all the families that were on this camping trip, we've seen them we've hung out with them 9 times over the last 6 months. So that's kind of a lot. You know what I mean? Yeah. So they're still newer friends, but they're in the inner circle, you're in the camping trip.
Yeah.
And so, and here's something that I think is really important. Tell me your opinion on this.
Okay.
Kids, they need leadership, and they need strong leadership. And boys, they need strong leadership from men. And sometimes strong leadership is messy, and people make mistakes. And I decided on this camping trip, I looked at these boys, and I heard this story from my daughter, Miley, and I was like, I love these boys, and I'm going to try to help these parents and help the boys. And I think that that's what boys need. They need strong leadership from men. And that's what I tried to do, even though it didn't come out perfectly. What do you think about that?
Yeah. No, I think it's very important for boys and kids in general to have strong men, right? I mean, it can be hard to find, which is weird to think about. How is that hard to find? Because you either have, someone who's too distant, you have someone who's too fierce or hard, avoidance. There's this balance. What is a strong man figure? What does that even mean?
Right.
I guess when you have it, you have it, whether it's a coach, a teacher, an uncle, but someone you respect, a grandfather who spends time with you. And, each one of us needs to have whatever that is in our life.
Keep in mind, I want you to visualize this, everybody. Before this event happened, this bucket golf event, here's just a few of the things I have done with these boys. One is I've taken them out on my inflatable raft with a motor, and I've taken them on boat rides around the lake. Nice. 2, I have played with them on my stand-up paddleboards that I loaned them. 3, I've taken them fishing to try to catch catfish. And we normally catch a ton, but we only went fishing one time, and to my shock, we didn't catch any. And so I feel like to be a good leader, you can't just jump in and start parenting your kids or other people's kids. You've got to earn the right to be heard.
True. That's
and
good.
Love on people and love on kids before you have the right to try to parent anyone. Yeah. What do you think about that?
Yeah, we're not going to go into a supermarket and see some kid acting up and walk over to the mom and be like, I'm going to talk to your kid right now because they need a strong male figure. I don't know that family. I don't know that kid. You're right. There has to be some kind of closeness. And, in the beginning, you got to do the good stuff. You can't just jump to parenting right away, or else you're going to be the weird, mean, awkward dad that no one wants to be around.
This is kind of personal. I like that we're not sharing their names, but here's a chance that this family is not going to want me to be around their kids anymore, which is
I don't think so.
The family coach.
I don't think so.
Because, and if that does happen, I think that'll be such a shame and wrong. Yeah. And then be overprotecting children and trying to only put your children around adults who are just like you, or at least in your moral code. And that's not good for kids. It's good for kids to be around imperfect people and see the world. And as obviously there's a line, there's a boundary. If I was, dropping F-bombs every day, that's a different story. But it's I just think that it's healthy. The moral of the story, what I'm trying to say, I think it's really healthy to like have a spirit adventure and wanting your kids to be around other kids and be around other people and go through the messiness of life and not be that overprotective parent who is just like trying to shelter your children. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, it's true. I think it's gonna be fine. But again, I don't know what's going on behind closed doors. Well, honey, man, that Sean Donohue, like, he preaches one way. He says he's a perfect parent, but man, his lips just fly out. What, you using the D word in front of our kids? Like, I don't even use the D word.
Right.
So I think when you look at it, you're coming from a place of good, wanting to help correct.
Yeah, I did. I was.
You know.
You ready for the next story?
Yeah.
Okay, so I imagine there's all these boys are in the back of my Toyota Tundra truck, a 6-inch lift, 37-inch tires, and they're just hanging out because why? Well, because I'm going to take them to the playground, right?
That's
Me,
awesome.
by myself. Yeah. I was my idea. Hey, how about I take you guys in the back of my pickup truck and we'll go to the playground? Yay! Right?
Oh, cool. And no other parent was like, I'm going to go with you and help out?
No one even offered.
Dude, that is messed up. Who are these parents? They're just going to let you go. Well, Sean. Okay, go ahead.
That's not true, actually. I think Josh did offer. I think Josh did come, but I don't know. That doesn't matter.
All right, doesn't matter.
No, I think they were going.
Going.
Anyways, so they're all ready to go, and they're in the back of my pickup truck, and now we're just waiting on a couple of the kids to finish their breakfast. And then I see my daughter, and she's 9, and she's crying. And I said, what's going on?
In the back of the truck?
No, she's next to the truck, hiding her face in her hoodie. And she says, yeah, that one of the boys was saying mean things to me and saying I have girl boogers and I'm nasty and my hair's nasty.
Dude, kids can be
and
so
I'm
brutal.
gross, right?
Oh my gosh.
So
Yeah.
what would you do in this situation, everyone? On a camping trip, your friend who you love, his son, who's the same age, just totally degraded and bullied yours. Now, there's a lot of good choices and bad choices to do in this situation. Here's what I did, and you can determine if you like this or not. I pointed at the kid. I'm 6'2". I pointed at him. I glared. I know his name.
Yeah.
But I said, you, here, now. Come here right now. In that tone, man. In that tone. I said, you, now, come here. Get your butt over here. I walked away so we have some privacy. So now we're in between two other trucks, a red Toyota Tacoma and a Toyota 4Runner. A lot of Toyotas on the trip.
Seriously. Okay.
And
We're not sponsored by them, FYI, everybody. We were just
in a very intense tone, I said something like this to him. What'd you say to my daughter? Now, this boy is like 9 years old, towering over him. I'm not down on one knee, right? This is not going to end up in a gentle parenting book. This story is going to end up in a good parenting book about strong discipline and mentoring. And I said, hey, what'd you say to my daughter? He's frozen, dude.
I bet.
He's frozen. He's like,
Does he even realize he said it?
He's so scared. I love this little boy. I've known his dad since he was 15. The dad is like 33. I'm 47. I've known his dad since the dad was 15. Love this kid. I said, tell me, what did you say? Soften my tone a little bit. And he said, he says something like this. I said she has girl boogers. And she's nasty. Right. And then now in a really intense look in my face, I said, that's my daughter. That's my daughter. You said that too.
Did you say, that's my daughter, you D?
No.
Okay, good. Good. We didn't go there this time.
And so now I'm standing in a very intense way.
Yeah.
I said, you said that to my daughter? Haven't I been telling you to treat the girls well? Mm-hmm. And you said that to my daughter? He's like, I'm sorry. And I said, how do you think I feel when someone picks on my daughter? Do you think I like that? He said, no. I said, what do you think I do or how I respond if someone's picking on my kids or my girls. Those are girls. We've talked about girls, how girls require more kindness, more gentleness. He's like, I don't know. He's like, I get upset. And if a man were to touch my daughters or call her names, I might fight that man. I'm going to stand up for her. I'm going to do whatever I can to not let a man or somebody hurt my daughter. Do you understand me? He's like, yeah, yes. So then I realized now it's time for me to do what you said, was simmer the tone down, right? So now my face changes, my body changes. I'm like, okay, why did you say that? He's like, I don't know. I was like, come on, tell me, why did you say that? He's like, I don't know. I was like, right, that's part of the problem. I believe you. You weren't thinking, were you? No. He's like, that's okay. I do some things without thinking too sometimes. Just pause, smiled. Yeah, it's okay. I do stuff. I know. Did you want to hurt her feelings? He said no. I was like, I believe you. You're such a good kid. You're a sweet kid. You're a good friend. I know you're working on this. All right. So, how are we going to help her feel better? He says, I don't know. I was like, well, I want you to come up with it. I want you to come up with some ideas. Because you talking to me like this, it helps me to feel better. But it hurts me and it hurts her when you call her name. It probably hurt all the girls. Like if I were to ask the girls right now, are the boys treating the girls well on this camping trip? What do you think the girls would say? He would say no. I was like, right. And so do you want me to invite you back on my camping trip? He's like, yeah. I was like, I want to have you back. I love you. I love your dad. I love your family. But you can't be treating the girls poorly on this camping trip. He's like, okay. He's like, yeah, because sometimes I'll say stuff to my sister too and mean stuff. And I don't mean to say it, but I just do. I was like, right. So you're going to work on it, right? He's like, yeah, I'm going to work on it.
That's good. That was good.
And I put my hand on his shoulder. I said, okay,
Yeah.
all right, let's go to the park and let's talk about this a little bit more later. Okay, we're going to make this right to her. Okay, any questions so far?
No, I was gonna say that was powerful. Obviously, that was a little embarrassing for him, but you handled it in a way that we talked about. It was a shocking moment. The kid had a reality check in this moment, and then you made him think about his answer in that moment, and now he has something to look forward to and work on.
Any things that you liked or you didn't like or stood out to you about
Yeah,
how
like
I
how you
handled it?
said how you love him, how you love hanging out with him, and you want him to be, a part of this trip in the future, and you love being around him because that made him feel wanted, and like, oh, cool, like I'm not just some reject of a kid just being mean all the time.
Mm-hmm. How'd you feel about that?
Point out?
Whatever, yeah. About the intensity of the language. It's pretty intense, man.
Yeah.
For a 9-year-old kid.
Sean Don, you can be pretty intense sometimes. So that's
Too intense? For a 9-year-old? Maybe.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Now, how about this? Some parents would have done this. Some parents would have done that. Some parents would have punished. Say, all right, you're not going to the park.
Right.
I feel like discipline is rooted in the word disciple, and that word is actually mean train. Train someone to become a follower. And so what I did was discipline that child who's not my son. And I'm training him how to have more mindfulness, how to thinking. But I didn't punish him. We still went to the playground and had a great time.
Good.
Do you think that was the right decision?
Yes.
Why?
Just like the same way that you think, what's the word we use? Taking away something from kids isn't an effective tool to help teach them, right? Well, if you don't do this, then you don't get your tech, or you're going to be grounded or threatening. If you say this again, you're not going to go to the playground and hang out with us, right? So it's like you keep threatening with this negative, but instead of like teaching and still giving them the positive.
I have one more story to share, but here's one of the highlights of that story. The discipline was in the talk, but also in the, hey, I want you to go make it up to her, right? So it's like, instead of making him not go to the park, now I'm putting the ball in his court to make amends. Be like, hey, I want you to go make this right.
Yeah.
I checked in with him later. I said, hey, how you doing? Real gentle, got down on one knee. He said, I'm doing good. I'm like, good. I know I can be a little intense sometimes. Do you feel better? And you know what he said to me?
What'd he say?
Take a guess. What did he say to me? And I said to him, you did really good in our talk. I know I can be really intense sometimes, but think you handle it very well. What do you think? Take a wild guess. Guess what he said.
Thanks for talking to me.
Good guess. He said, can I have a hug?
Oh, that's so sweet. I love when my kids ask that. Can I have a hug? Yes, anytime I'll give you a hug.
When I share these stories with my wife's friends, this is what Jess said. She said, you know what? Boys need more affection than girls.
Yeah, okay.
Doesn't that make sense?
Yeah.
Girls are more comfortable of getting affection, asking for affection, giving affection, but doesn't that make sense that boys, they actually need more affection?
Yeah, and they don't ask for it as much. That was really sweet that he asked you.
And then the other friend, she said, you know what? I like strong, good parenting. And that's what these boys need. I saw these boys and it was not going well. And so I think they needed it. I'm glad you did it. And I really support everything you did. I think exactly what's needed. And I think that's what that boy actually needs more of, is strong parenting like this.
I think a lot of our kids in this society do. You know, a lot of parents don't do it. They just sweep it under the rug. They move on. They don't address the problem because they're worried about what the other parents will think of them. They're worried about a number of things.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's hard to be the bad guy. I mean, I could say right now, like on that camera today, well, Sean's the bad guy, and the kids might be like, well, don't do it in front of Sean. But it's like you need that strong personality.
You're going to enjoy the third story. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Short story. So my daughter comes up to me and she says, Dad, the boys are doing it again. They're not listening. My friend, 8-year-old friend, is crying because they're pushing her on the hammock and they won't stop. I walk over and the sweetest girl in the whole camp, she's the sweetest little girl. She's crying in a ball on a hammock because one of the oldest boys there, she supposedly, which I believe it, she said, stop pushing me, because he was pushing her on the hammock really hard, right?
Yeah, that's scary. Yeah.
And he didn't stop.
Yeah.
He kept pushing her.
Yeah.
So here's what I did. I rallied all the boys. I said, boys, this is a short version. Think, how did I handle it? How would you have handled it? Here's a creative way to handle a situation like this. Whether you like it or not, that's up to you. Short version, I said, guys, I'm very upset about this. So see, I'm humanizing myself. I'm showing my emotion. I'm not giving a lecture. I'm showing them I care. I care about these girls. I'm invested in them. I've taken them here. I've taken them there. I love them. Here's what I said. All right, you got two options here. Two options, boys. All four of you. I didn't do it. It wasn't me. Right. I didn't do it, Sean. I've been good. No. If I were to ask all the girls right now, how have the boys been treating you guys? How do you think they'd answer? I don't know. Well, let's ask them. So here they are. There's 3 or 4 girls. How have the girls been treating you? Bad.
Yeah.
I said, okay, boys, here's the deal. You have 2 options. Choose. All 4 of you are in a group now. Either option A is what you choose as a group. I will discipline you. And I'm going to come down so hard on you this time. Like, you're going to get major consequences for messing with these girls. Is that what you want?
No.
Option B, you come up with a creative way to help this little girl, our sweet little girl right here, feel better. You write her a poem. You put a skit on, a play. You do some artwork. You do something creative to help her smile again, because she's crying in a ball because of the boys. I didn't even do it, Sean. Right, I know. You've been doing really good, I said to one of them. Really good. But this is going to be a group bonding activity because you guys are all boys now. You guys are homies. And I'm asking you to please stick with the group, and we'll do this together. All right? It doesn't stop there. You ready? You ready for next?
Yeah.
So then my daughter, who is got a strong personality, she's 9. she
I
speaks
wonder where
up.
she gets that from.
And she's like, oh, yeah, they could do this or they should do that.
Right.
And
Some
then
ideas.
and then the boys are like, okay, yeah, we'll do a play. We'll do a skit. One of them's like, what's a skit? Right? So then my 9-year-old starts giving them ideas and direction and kind of starts bossing them around.
I can totally see that.
She's like, we'll do this. And then I said, wait a second. This all happened within like 15 seconds. I said, wait a second, guys, do you want the girls involved? Okay, my 9-year-old is now in my office listening to this story. She's standing right here. So you can come on over if you want to talk. Do you want to tell your side of the story? Do you want to say anything? Okay. Am I telling the story in a true way? Is this kind of how it went? Oh my gosh, she's wearing. You know how you wear rubber gloves?
Yes, when you
She's
clean.
wearing them on her feet. On her feet. What are you wearing?
That is so funny.
She's wearing rubber gloves on her feet.
Can I pull the shirt up?
Yeah, here, I'll change it so she wants to say something. So, okay, I got one of those, those, like, have you heard of bark glue or landscape rock glue?
Yeah.
It's like,
It hardens all the, so
yeah,
it
it
doesn't
hardens
kick
it.
off.
So we're about to do that in the yard. And
that's why
here,
you
I'm
get
going to sit
the
down.
gloves.
And that's why she stole those gloves and she's wearing them on her feet like they're shoes. So do you feel like I'm telling the story in an accurate way so far? She can't hear you, Jordan, because I have the
I know.
headphones on.
Yes.
Okay, good.
So then I say to the boys, like, "Hey, wait a second here. Do you want Kenzie's help?
You did get some of the H's wrong, though.
Do you want Kenzie's help and Riley's help?
Or do you want to do this on your own?
Or are you guys doing this on your own?"
Right.
And tell them what they said. Speak right in the mic. You got to get real close. I said, do you boys want the girls' help with this project, or do you want to do it on your own? Speak right here, real close.
I was surprised, but
Don't touch the mic 'cause you might mute it. Go for it.
But they said what?
they all said yes.
Okay, so they wanted direction. They wanted you to boss them around. Okay, got it.
I'm pretty sure one of them said no, but then everyone else said yes.
Right, group majority.
So they changed their mind.
Okay.
So they decided to do a play and a skit. And then I said, I don't want to know what this is about, but it better be good. And it better make her smile. And then I looked at the little girl and said, okay, do you want to be a part of helping them with their skit, which is about you? Or do you want some alone time? And she's still crying in a ball in a hammock.
Yeah.
She said, alone time.
Okay.
So then what happened is they go off, 30 feet away, and they organize a skit. And it looks like Kenzie and her friend Riley were the directors.
Well, yeah, and the introducers.
Bottom
And the
line, the
introducers?
little girl that was crying, did it make her smile again?
So then do you want to tell
yes.
us what the skit was about? Because they were going to
Well,
perform this. So go ahead.
It was about, because during that time we had a snake that just died.
A rattlesnake came into the campground, and we killed it.
Heck
because
no. Okay.
We killed it. It was a great story. Killed it. Chopped its head off with an axe.
Oh, jeez.
Yep. And a stand-up paddleboard that we had to push it so it doesn't go back in its hole. Please continue.
And we had it as her brother was the snake, and his name is, and the snake's name was Jeff. So it was Jeff the snake, and he was just talking to Isla like really funny.
Okay.
And,
So the story was about a snake talking to the little girl?
It's mostly just like about funny stuff.
Yeah.
So
Trying to make her laugh. You're trying to make her smile. Of course you were going to talk about funny stuff. That makes sense.
So they set up a beach chair for her to sit in.
Oh, and she's the main audience. That's
And
adorable.
she was the audience of one, because now, of course, me and some of the other parents were like coming over to watch the skit. And then what do the kids say?
They're like, no, and Easton, well,
That's okay.
he was Jeff, and he said, I'm not being Jeff if the parents are watching. I'm like, you guys can't watch. We need him to be Jeff.
We need a Jeff. That's like the main character.
So then none of the parents watched.
Right.
And they did it for her. And then I checked in with her. I said, did you enjoy the skit, the play? And she was like, yeah. She was smiling. So see, before I tell you a couple things as we close today's episode, tell us, I heard a little rumor from one of the kids that, the play was to help her feel better, but it was also to help the boys understand how to treat girls. Was that true? Like, this is the way girls want to be treated?
Yeah, it's like, because it was based on, like, to make her feel better and how to, like, swing the girls how they want to be swung
That's
on the
great.
hammock.
That's perfect. That
Like-
sounds like a win-win.
We put the oldest in the hammock and we just swung him lightly,
Gentle.
but then like after we're like, this is how she does not want to be swung, and we almost like swung him off the cliff.
That's funny. That's funny. That brings comedy.
So Jordan, tell us some takeaways. What did you like? What you didn't like about my parenting?
Well, it created a
this
memorable
situation?
moment. It created a good teaching moment. Mine would have been so different. If I was in that situation, I was thinking, what would I have done? I would have been like, stop. Here's the deal. I'm taking the hammock down. You're obviously not mature enough to use this thing. So when this thing goes up, it's only for adults. You guys have not earned the opportunity to swing because you don't know how to swing in a hammock. This isn't like a rope swing. This isn't like a swing at the playground. This is a hammock. You're supposed to relax and chill. And this little girl wants to chill, and you don't know how to do that, so you just want to swing and someone can get hurt. That's what I would have done, but it definitely would not have come across the way you did it because you're actually getting everybody involved, and this is turning into an hour-long teaching moment now, and now they're playing and being creative, and I think it's so much better.
Do you think I should have done that? Just taken all the hammocks away from the kids?
No, because a lot of the kids, she is like the only one that doesn't like to be pushed hard, and everyone else liked to be pushed very hard. But
Okay.
some of the parents didn't really let us, but not all of them.
Understood.
Also, it's
Okay.
another. I mean, how many times have we heard this over the camping trip, and even in this episode? This was another situation with the boy. He didn't realize what he was doing. He was just not
Right.
thinking. He's got no evil intent. He's a great kid, great parent.
Yes.
And but
He just is being a normal butthead
Yeah.
kid. You know what I
Right.
mean? Just not
Right.
thinking. Yeah.
Yeah.
he's going into 3rd grade. He's not 9.
No. We're talking. The older one is not going to 3rd
well,
grade.
I'm talking about the one that
Okay, he's 8. We'll call him 8. So 8, 9.
Yeah.
She's correcting me. It's not 9. So
And I was 7.
Here's a couple takeaways from my opinion is whenever you're disciplining your children or trying to lead other children, instead of just punishing them or commanding, controlling them or forcing apologies, instead of just saying, okay, you've lost it, which is sometimes the right decision, right?
Okay.
Think about these two things. One is giving them more attention on how they can use those things better. Or two, if they have crossed the line, instead of giving them some speech or some pep talk, come up with a creative way so they can make amends. And I
Yeah.
keep telling the boys, like the one that didn't want to do the play, because he's like, I didn't do it. I was like, sometimes in life, sorry is not enough.
Yeah. That's good. Or
Wasn't it?
Sometimes in life, you don't need to mention their names.
I know, I'm not.
Sometimes in life, saying I'm sorry is not enough.
no.
You've got to.
It doesn't mean anything. It's just words.
It's just
But they
words.
showed that they were sorry. They put the work in.
Right. So, and this is why, like, if you have sibling issues, using that tool is like, hey, that's my son that you're talking about. What do you
Right.
mean? That's my son that you're bullying. That's my daughter. And then just thinking of creative ways to have them team up, whether they're bickering and like, hey, like instead of just controlling them or avoiding it or lecturing them, use creativity to have them make amends. That's some of the takeaways from today. What do you think? Do you think that I did a good job?
Did you have fun? Did you have fun on the camping trip?
Yes.
Would you do it again?
I would do the camping trip again, but
With the boys?
yeah.
Really?
Okay. There you go.
But even though they were treating the girls poorly.
Okay.
Did you think I did a good job parenting the boys, or was I a little bit mean or intense?
I think you did good. Like, but, oh yeah.
How did you feel about when I called out, we're not going to say his name, when I pointed at the boy on my pickup truck after calling you those horrible things about boogers, and I said, you, here, now, come here. Did you like that, or was that too mean or weird?
Were you scared for him?
I don't know. Like, all the boys were like, what's gonna happen? Like, and I'm like, probably nothing. He's just gonna, like, tell him not to do that.
Right.
Did he treat you any better after that, or was he still struggling to treat you good? That
He's
boy.
fine.
Good? Jordan, thanks
Like-
for...
This is a life journey. We're all learning, and sometimes it takes multiple times to get it right. So I thought these stories were great, and they gave all of us some ideas on like what we can do in group setting, or just what I can do with my siblings. Like, I love the idea of like, how are you going to show your sister that you love her and that you're sorry? You're not going to just say I'm sorry. Like, what are you going to do?
Mm-hmm.
I love that challenge. That's really, really wise.
You want to say goodbye to everyone and tell them give us one last tip. If for all the parents that are going on camping trips with other people's kids, how do you be a good parent or a good adult when you're around a lot of other people's kids? Give us a tip.
Are we talking about like the camping trip for next year or?
Sure.
Yeah.
Like,
Like here's what you should say. Parents, you just need to bring a lot of s'mores and sugary drinks and cookies, and then we'll be happy kids, and we'll be quiet, and we will be loving.
What is a tip how to be a good parent on a camping trip with other people's kids?
I'm not good at answering questions.
That's a tough one. That's a tough one for a kid to answer. I wouldn't know how to answer that either.
Yeah. Do you think I should be more relaxed next year with the boys, or keep up the intensity and don't let the boys act out?
I think what you did this year was good.
Yeah.
We
Good call.
We heard it here, folks.
We heard it here.
Other parents may not have been as approving. But hey, thank you, Kenzie, for coming onto this episode.
Yes, thank you so much.
Kenzie's
We
9.
appreciate it.
Hey, Jordan, I love you. Thank you for letting me share those stories with all you all. And if you enjoyed this episode, then comment, leave me on Instagram, send me an email, tell Jordan and I what you think about this podcast. Leave us a 5-star review on your podcast provider. Thank you, everyone.
We appreciate you guys. Thank you so much.